Hey guys, just a little update on what's going on here. After my last video, a lot of guys commented on how I should approach this project. Greg Porter was one. I really appreciate you, the shout out. I got a ton of views, a ton of help. The guys in the Corvette forum who have watched the video, they gave me a lot of direction, which made me rethink everything here, and I totally changed how I'm going to approach this car. The first thing I was going to do was I was going to build a tripod and take the body off. Wrong. That just is going to sit there. I'm going to put a cover over it. It will not exist. I have all this stuff on the floor here that needs to get cleaned up, ready for assembly. Parts need to get painted, transmission needs to get rebuilt, rear needs to get rebuilt, gas tank, I got to figure out what I'm going to do with that. It's a lot to do before I pull body out the car. Because what would have happened is I'd have had a frame sitting on one side of the garage, a body on the other side of the garage, and no room. Not good. So, after that change of direction, I just basically been sitting down, pulling parts, getting some things cleaned up here. Started up in the front. I'm going to work my way towards the back. Each piece, I also have a lot of nuts, bolts, and clips and parts to find for this, which are in the boxes sitting up on the shelves. Some up there, and some in those boxes over there. There's a bunch of stuff in those cabinets up there. Plus there's two other locations where this car has been, and I know there's some parts sitting there too. First thing I found that really kind of bothered me was the transmission here. It's locked up solid. I can't get it to shift in any gear. It just, nothing will move. Anybody's got a clue what could possibly be wrong with this, because it was fine years ago when it was out of the car. Everything spun freely. No idea. I'm figuring it just, maybe it got stuck in two gears at the same time somehow, and now I just can't get them out. Some of the mistakes I made on this car from the get-go, years and years ago, I tore into it. You know, got it home, figured I'm going to rip this car apart and get it all going. Well, that became a major issue, because I have parts that I traded in, got rid of, that belonged to the car. They had the correct casting dates. Oh well, I made the mistake. Hopefully somebody will see this video and not make those mistakes that I made. That's why we're on YouTube. Come down to one of the first things I did was I took the original arms here, these guys, that one there and one over there, and I exchanged them. Well, for what? I'm sure the ones that I had were fine. I was just going to throw new ones in there and get on the road. Well, it didn't happen. It's 20 years later, I'm not on the road. And I don't have my originals, which a lot of this stuff had casting dates. They all mean stuff on the Corvettes. It's not, you know, something that you just grab a piece and throw it together. We're not building a hot rod from scratch where you get the right part to fit and you move on. Now, simple little things like this drive shaft here. If you guys can see it, A little orange stripe here and a green stripe here. They got to get put back on in order to do this restoration properly. There's also a green dot right up here. I do have a question for the Corvette guys. If you look at that green dot, underneath of it is black. From what I've been reading, this is supposed to be natural. There's no paint supposed to be on the drive shaft. But if that were the case, how come the green is on the black? I'm sure no one restored this car at one time and painted it black and put the green dot back on there. Somebody can answer that question for me, I'd appreciate it. Other things, the rear, it's real tight, it spins real easy. I'm probably just going to pull it apart and give it a good check. I don't know if I'm going to rebuild it or not. I'll have to see what it looks like inside. Some of the things I have out, I've laid out here. We got the Corvette shop manual, the book for the body repairs, the fact book right here, if you can see that, focus in. Vet values fact book. It has tons of information in here. Where things go, how they're supposed to go together, part numbers, casting numbers. I don't know if you can see that. Lots of information. This also has tons of information in it. This book, Chassis Restoration Guide. This is the book that I need right now, along with the fact book. It's going to get me through this whole project as far as the chassis goes. Here's a whole page on finishes. How everything's supposed to go, what colors are supposed to be, are they painted, unpainted, gray, cadmium plated, semi-gloss black. Also, there's another page in here on bolt heads and bolt sizes and where they go. Tons of information in this book. Great book to have. This one I haven't really read much in. I was told it was a good book to have, and I just picked this up recently. Actually, it was a Christmas present. And of course, I got the restoration book. Helped me to figure out how to take care of different parts I have. And all my catalogs from every company I could find on the internet. Plus the CDs when I get to the bodywork CDs. A few other restoration guides that I have. So I've been doing a lot of reading. Still need to get into this book here, because this is where I'm going to start. The chassis. I'm going through this one again and again, and the fact books. And this here, this is basically the Bible. If you're redoing a Corvette, you have to have this book. It has everything you want in it. If you can't find it in here, it's not written down anywhere. So that's where it stands, and it all starts out with the assembly manual, which I have. It's the complete GM assembly manual, how every piece in the factory went together with the notes. Here's parts that were canceled, this drawing was canceled, how it bolts to the frame, everything. It's all in here from start to finish, the complete assembly of this car. They're musts. So that's basically where I stand right at the moment. Really haven't had all that much progress. Been pretty busy at work.